If you love traveling and creating but struggle to find models in new cities, here are 4 methods that actually work. I've used them to shoot with people in Barcelona, Toronto, Puerto Rico, and more. What's up nerds, it's host Wavy. Today I'm going to be talking about how I find models when I'm traveling abroad or within the States or just new cities. This video is mainly for photographers, but if you're a model, creator, makeup artist, any type of creative, you could also take these and apply it to your own niche. I know it could be kind of hard to find new people in new cities, especially to countries or cities you've never been to, but I've found ways that I could reach out to people and have it work for me and be able to work with new people in new countries. So the places I've done these methods is Barcelona, Puerto Rico, Italy, recently Toronto. If you haven't checked out those videos, I actually made videos on my recent trip. Just a quick disclaimer, these are methods for collabs, not paid work. The reason I do collabs and not try to find paid work is because I love meeting new people all over the world. I love creating. I like exploring new cities. I love knowing that I have friends in other countries that I could reach out to and be like, hey, I'm coming back, let's do something or let's hang out. Shooting with locals helps me explore the cities a little bit more because obviously they know the city a lot more than I do. So usually they'll take me places that I didn't even know about. So that's a great way to learn new cities. And in my eyes, collabing with these people will put my name in their city. So it opens the door for possible paid opportunities later down the road. So this first method is probably the one I use the most and I've seen the most success out of, and that would be hashtags. So every time I know I'm about to travel, maybe like 2 weeks before, I'll go on the hashtags from that city. So what I like to look up since I'm looking for models, I will do hashtag city models. So for example, I would do hashtag Toronto models, and then I'll just click on that hashtag and I will go through everybody. Honestly, I message a lot of people, close to 100 or over 100 people per trip. This basically just increases my odds. I've been doing this for a while and I know things fall through. Some people don't reply, some people don't even see it. So I just make sure to just send out as many messages as I can. That way I have basically the highest opportunity to get shoots in that new country. And these messages usually look something like this. Hey, I'm a photographer from the United States. I'm visiting Barcelona for 2 weeks. I love your look or style. I would love to collab on a photo shoot. Let me know if you're interested. I keep it nice and simple and straight to the point. Send out a bunch of those. I do have a good amount of people reach back out to me, and then I just go from there, start planning, and boom. And this kind of goes along with the hashtags through Instagram. But along with the hashtags, I'll go on Geotags, which is just location tags on Instagram. So I'll go to the location tag of that city or something in that city, like a popular landmark or something like that. So for example, let's use Toronto because that's where I was last. I'll just go to Toronto, Ontario, click the location, and then I'll go to the recents tab because those are usually the people that are there right now. And I'll go through the recents tab and I'll just find people that I find interesting and go from there. The only problem with this is a lot of them or most of them aren't actually models. So what I'll do is I'll just find people that I find interesting or they have a cool style. They're just not going to be professional models. But sometimes I'm okay with that because I literally just want to get photos done in new cities. And they can be either locals, which is great, that's what we want, or they could just be tourists visiting the area, and by the time you see their post, they're already gone or something. That's the only problem with going through geotags. Alright, this next one I don't do too often because I don't know why, but in my opinion it feels a little bit slimy. But when I need to do it, I'll do it. I would just go ahead and find photographers from that city. Usually I choose photographers that have similar styles to mine because usually they'll use models that are more my style. I'll go on the photographers pages and I'll either go through their tagged photos and find the models that way, or I will go to their actual feed and just look at their photos and then go find the models that way. Usually they tag them. Also, what I do sometimes is message the actual photographers just asking for recommendations on models. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is when I'm messaging models or anybody, I'll go ahead and like a few of their posts and follow them, and then I'll send the message. I just found that this way it gets their attention a little bit more and increases the chances of them actually replying to you, because a lot of times your message will just go in their request and they won't see it. And then along with finding different photographers, you can also find different makeup artists or any other creatives. Still the same hashtag, so hashtag Toronto photographer or hashtag Toronto makeup artists. The good thing about that is now you kind of have a team to go off of. While you're there, just ask the makeup artist, hey, you want to collab on a photo shoot? And then boom, you have a team. Alright, so this next one, it might be a little bit controversial. Sometimes I do use dating apps, not to date, but to find models. You gotta be very careful on how you go about this though. I always make it very clear in my bio that I am visiting from a certain place and I'm a photographer and I'm just looking for models. It is a gray area for sure, and you gotta be very careful, but it has worked out for me. And you just gotta make sure you're not mixing both dating and photography, because that's just weird. I keep those separate. You want to be very transparent when it comes to dating apps. Just don't be weird, bro. Just don't be weird. And again, kind of like the geolocation thing, you're not gonna find as many actual models on these dating apps, but you could find some pretty interesting people. I have found some pretty interesting looking people with cool styles on there. I actually did this in a few countries. One more way that you could find models is going through agencies or just casting sites. So you could find models through casting sites and then find their Instagram and then reach out to them, or just message the agency themselves. And then if all else somehow fails, just go in the streets and find people to shoot. You definitely have to be a little bit more extroverted to do this, but hey, you gotta step out of your comfort zone, you know? So yeah, just go in the streets, be like, hey, looking for models, can I get a quick photo of you? Snap a quick photo of them, and if it turns into a full photo shoot either that day or a different day, then cool. So there is a few things that will definitely help you a lot during this process. One is having a strong portfolio. Unfortunately, if you don't have a good portfolio or anything to show models, they're a lot less likely to message you back and want to collaborate. Second thing is actually knowing the language of that new country. Luckily for me, I am bilingual. I know English and Spanish. So countries like Spain and Puerto Rico, obviously they speak Spanish, so it was a lot easier for me to communicate with the locals and talk to them. So that's definitely a plus. If you know the language, that's great. But what I have found is a lot of countries do speak English, if that is your main language. So you should be okay. You should find somebody that speaks English. But keep in mind, not everybody speaks English. Don't be one of those people that just assumes everyone speaks English. And a longer stay is always going to help you, because everyone's schedules is different. Even if these models do reach back out to you, sometimes they're just not available too much. But if you're there for a longer stay, it increases your chances of them being available and you being able to work with them. I've had a few countries that I stayed in for not too long, and even though I had people reach back out to me, I just wasn't able to make it work because it didn't work with their schedules or it didn't work with my schedule. So yeah, a longer stay is gonna help you overall. And also guys, be careful when you're traveling to new countries and meeting new strangers, because you just never know. So always meet in a public place during the daylight. Just don't be dumb. Just don't be dumb. If you're new here, I'm Josuevi. My channel is mainly photography based. I do a lot of behind the scenes photo shoot content. Just overall a lot of fun stuff on this channel. So if you are into that type of stuff, consider looking at the rest of my videos and subscribing. I would love to have you here on the channel. But yeah, that is how I find models in new countries or cities. Those are just the ways that I like to do it and what I found that worked out the best for me. If any of these tips helped you out just a little bit, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, drop a comment, all that. And if you have any questions, just drop them down in the comment section. I'd be happy to answer them. But yeah, I will see you guys next week, Wednesday. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay blessed.
The bar is touching the sky when you hear my ting, it's come too wavy. I gotta protect my C-color girl that wanna have my babies. Play me, don't try play me. Coming too hot, so you goddamn rate me. And I don't have no shame, so how on earth are you gonna try shame me, fame me?